In the twilight of an era marked by the glittering opulence of European courts and the rigid hierarchies that underpinned them, the continent teetered on the brink of monumental change. This was a world where the pomp of royalty could not mask the simmering tensions of nationalism and imperial ambition. It was against this backdrop that Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary, heir to a throne overseeing a mosaic of cultures and ethnicities, found himself in Sarajevo on that fate-laden June morning in 1914. Franz Ferdinand was not just any royal. He symbolized the potential for transformation within the crumbling edifice of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His marriage to Sophie, Duchess of Hohenberg, a union born of love rather than political convenience, stood as a beacon of hope for those who dreamed of softening the empire's harsher edges. Yet, this love story would also lead them to their tragic end. On June 28, 1914, the streets of Sarajevo were charged with an electric tension, a city where the dreams of Slavic nationalists clashed with the reality of imperial dominion. Into this volatile mix stepped Gavrilo Princip, a young man whose heart burned with the fire of liberation for his people. The Archduke's visit presented an opportunity too potent to ignore. As fate would have it, a wrong turn by the Archduke's driver brought the couple directly into Princip's path. The shots he fired were not merely an attack on individuals, but a strike at the heart of an empire. The assassination set off a chain reaction of events, plunging Europe into a state of unprecedented mobilization and conflict. The death of Franz Ferdinand and Sophie was the spark that ignited the powder keg of European alliances. Austria-Hungary, consumed by grief and outrage, found a loyal partner in Germany, bound by the ties of the dual alliance and a military pact. Germany's support was not merely a gesture of solidarity, but a calculated move in the great chess game of European politics, dictated by its own fears of encirclement and the shadow of Russian mobilization. As the gears of war ground into motion, the alliances that had been forged in secret and with the hope of deterring conflict instead ensnared Europe in a web from which there was no escape. Russia, in defense of Serbia, mobilized its vast forces, compelling France and eventually Britain to enter the fray against Germany and Austria-Hungary. In the century that followed, the legacy of that June day in Sarajevo would echo through time, a haunting reminder of how the actions of a few, driven by belief and ensnared by the machinations of power, could shape the destiny of millions. Franz Ferdinand's assassination is not just a footnote in history, but a window into a world of imperial decay, burgeoning nationalism, and the inexorable march toward modernity, a world strikingly familiar to our own.